Hello and welcome back to Jurassic World Evolution 2, where today I'll be going over how to complete the Germany challenge map on Jurassic Difficulty. Now, I'm gonna say it, this took me a lot less time to do than the Canada one. That doesn't mean this is easier than Canada. Germany doesn't, because it took me less time doesn't mean it's easier. I think Canada really allowed me to better, it taught me more than what Germany did, I guess you can say. So it taught me how to really start a challenge mode park. Anyway, again, this is proof to show you that I have completed on Jurassic Difficulty. If we come here and go over the restrictions, we have only $4 million of starting cash, which is pretty standard. That seems pretty fair. It's pretty good. Nature and luxury guests only. In my opinion, this makes it easier because you're guaranteed to get nature guests in your park just by having dinosaurs and having them comfortable. So that's easy. And luxury guests, you can just build some hotels or tours. They're really easy to get to and they spend a lot more money. So if anything, this makes the game easier. No carnivores, bit of a bugger, but oh well. Genomes unlock at 100%. If anything, that just means you're spending more time doing digs. That's not much of a problem. Genome modifications disabled. That can be a bit frustrating if you want to release a dinosaur that has like sickly or short-lived or some sort of annoying trait that you would normally be able to get rid of, but now you can't. The disease risk is severe. This is probably the most annoying condition. Max staff center of 1. The way I play challenge mode, I only use 1 staff center anyway, so that's not a problem. And a maximum of 10 species, which isn't too bad, and I'll get to that in a bit, but it just takes a lot of planning and starting off with low dinosaurs and working your way up to, higher rated dinosaurs. Anyway, I'll head over to the game and I'll talk about how to complete it. Okay, so we're back here in the beautiful Germany map. Definitely one of my favorites. But yeah, so like I said before, this took me a lot less time than Canada. In Canada, I had a few attempts to actually successfully start the park. This I did at first try. So what I would say is the biggest difference between this and Canada, where Canada's hard to start, this is hard. This is not that same level of difficulty, but it's difficulty the whole way through, primarily because of the disease aspect, which I'll get to in a bit. Jeez, I can't talk. So when you start off, what you want to do is immediately go here and you want to build I ended up moving these over here. So you'll have the control center and you'll have your arrival point, which is pretty standard. You immediately want to build a science center and an expedition center, which is already different to Canada. So you want to build those right off the bat. And what you want to do is once that, while you're waiting for those to build, you want to hire some scientists, get them here. You also, once the expedition center is built, you want to go out and you want to get some Struthiomimus DNA. Struthiomimus is going to be your first dinosaur. You're going to want to get that to 100% because you can't release it until it is at 100%. While you're waiting for your expedition and your fossil extraction, you want to build a hatchery and build a small enclosure. It doesn't matter where you put it, just as long as it's fairly close to the arrival point. Once you have dinosaurs in your park, you're going to want to start doing the usual stuff. You're going to build the viewing gallery. You're going to put in your amenities, your toilet, your bunker, your emergency shelter, and also your hotel. Just stuff to raise the appeal of your park and then also start breaking even. While you're doing all this, you want to just be breeding tons and tons of Struthiomimus. And as soon as possible too. Another thing that you need to research really quickly is the Paleomedical Facility, because these dinosaurs are going to get disease quick and disease is going to spread rapidly. It's bad. The first disease I got was avian pox and it spread throughout all my Struthiomimus. I had to wait quite a bit for the research to come for the for the actual cure, because what you have to do for avian pox, or pretty much chicken pox, what you have to do is you want to quarantine all the dinosaurs that have it. But because it was spreading so quick, what I ended up doing is let every dinosaur catch it. except one that didn't want to catch it. So I tranked that and moved it into its own quarantine enclosure away from all the infected ones. Did the research. During that time, I had the Paleomedical, the MV, you go out and just heal all the dinosaurs, making sure they were all okay. Anyway, once, you've kind of broke even and you've got some, money in the bank, you want to start going for other dinosaurs. My second dinosaur that I got was the Amargasaurus, and I just had it in the same enclosure as the Struthiomimus. I then moved on to bigger things such as Apatosaurus and Polacanthus and had them in an enclosure over here. I tried with the Pachyrhinosaurus, but because of their aggressive traits, they just kept fighting and it wasn't fun. I also added some Draco Rex because they are a very good small dinosaur because they have 50 appeal per dinosaur, which is honestly pretty good, but I no longer have them in my park. Anyway, once you get to about 2.5 stars, which does take a bit of time, what you want to do is you want to make a lagoon, because despite not being able to have carnivores, you still can have lagoons and aviaries. Now I chose 3 lagoon creatures. I had the Plesiosaurus because that's the first one you have and you need it to unlock the well, you don't need it to, but you need it to unlock Tylosaurus and eventually Mosasaurus. I can't remember. But I had Plesiosaurus. What I originally was going to do is release the Mosasaurus in here, her eat all the plesiosaurs, but I ended up just having its own separate enclosure over here, and here I had 3 Tylosaurs, and because their enclosure wasn't big enough, they constantly get foot and mouth disease, constantly. You want to have your shops fairly close to these lagoons because they're going to generate a lot of money. These 3 Tylosaurs alone are just doing this for my shops here, which is amazing. What are these called? The attractions are also very good because you can get ones catered to just the, obviously the luxury and the nature guests. So here I have a fossil zone, which tends only to the nature guests and the luxury guests. You can also get ones that are just nature or just luxury, I believe. Anyway, once I had those lagoons, I started going for big herbivores. So here I have Brachiosaurus, and over here I have Mamenchisaurus with another lagoon over here, which I had another mosasaur in, which brought in a lot more money too. So just because you can have 10 species doesn't mean you need only one mosasaur. Put a lot of mosasaurs around because they're just going to give you so much appeal and bring in so much profit. So yeah, if I'm being honest, this is not that hard of a challenge mode. It's more of a frustrating one with all the disease because you'll have dinosaurs with injuries and then they'll get an infected wound or a disease will break out and then a storm will happen and just everything happens at once. It gets quite frustrating, but you'll always recover because nothing's too intense at the start. So you'll always recover. You always, go back to having a positive, income. You're not going to have any debt or anything. You're going to be okay. It's all going to be all right. So as long as you don't panic and you don't make dumb decisions, this is going to be easy. You're going to enjoy this. I had a lot more fun on this one than I did Canada, purely because I had obviously the first thing being a much bigger space to build on a much more beautiful map, and also I didn't have to do it over 12 times or whatever. But yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say. Like I said, this is a fairly easy one. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found it helpful. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao!